All right, let's start the record. Let's get it together. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream on YouTube. My name is Craig Smith, and today I want to talk with you about success. Let's go.
I had a moment, I had to be a savage. I had to put it in motion. You so mad and I'm laughing. You know we came from the show me. We don't care if we blasting. Blasting up and we glowing. The angels gon' buy me an Aston.
Yeah, I need a less abrupt way of going about that transition, but I just wanted to. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today is January 21st, 121, if you're in the numerology and everything. The numbers mean, I don't know what the numbers mean, but anyway, welcome to the stream. I wanted to jump on and really just talk about success. The topic of the day is success because you got to feel it. You got to breathe it. You got to aim for it.
That little old Jezebel been laying with everybody.
Yeah, her too. You got to just, I don't know. It's got to be in your DNA. In your DNA. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I if you don't know who I am, which would be weird because you're watching this, but if you don't know who I am, my name is Craig Smith. I am a rapper historically. I also been an activist, a writer, I don't know, man. Like lately, I just been calling myself just like a Renaissance badass. There you go. And the purpose of this stream of any content that I'm making, especially these days, my why, other than helping you to find your why, is to inspire curiosity, humanity, and hope. Curiosity, humanity, and hope. Curiosity and learning about the world, making sure that you're always getting back to the basics of whatever it is you enjoy. Humanity, it should be self-explanatory, but it's like, how are you helping the world? What type of heart do you have for the world? And turning that inward and saying, what type of heart do you have for yourself? How well are you treating yourself? Mental health is like, if there could be a theme for my life, mental health is probably it. Like I spent so much time talking down to myself, so much time beating myself up, so much time being very, very unkind to myself. And I just really don't want anybody to go. It's inhumane how we treat ourselves sometimes compared to how we treat everybody else. So yeah, curiosity, humanity. And I feel like that's an equation. Curiosity plus humanity equals hope. And we know what hope is because we know what hopelessness is. And hopelessness is something that I just wish nobody else had to go through, like ever. If I could cure any disease, it would be hopelessness. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Anyway. So success. What is success? What is success? I feel like I've been trying to answer this question since I was a little kid, right? Because my dysfunction in school was never the work. It was always the why, right? Because when I'm a kid and I'm in school and you're telling me to do all of this work and you're telling me about all of these different subjects that I'm just supposed to know, I just want to know why. Why? Because it feels like you're shuffling me along just to get me out of here, right? And if you feel like that in school, you feel like that at work, if you just go get a normal job, you feel like that at church or like in relationships, there's always this element of why am I doing it? And that might not be where your mind goes when it comes to success, but the road I'm going down, this is painting a holistic picture of what I view success to be. It is about you and your identity. It's not about money. It's not about status. It's solely a designation that we put on what your freedom looks like. Freedom freedom to live your life without regrets. Like going forward without regrets. You know you're successful when the moves that you're making from this point forward don't lead to regrets that you bring on to your own life, right? Like on your deathbed, are you going to regret spending time with your family? No. Are you going to regret how much time you spent at work? Maybe. Because maybe you spend too much time doing something that you don't honestly believe in. And for those people who are every day just running and slogging along and everything is just like the fight is just the fight. I got to put food on the table. Why? I mean, because I got to be responsible. It's a noble thing to do, but are you fulfilled? Are you fulfilled doing what you're doing? And I would even argue that the remedy for your hopelessness in whatever situation you're in, the remedy is not to quit. The remedy is to reorganize your end goal around the position that you're in. Success. So success for a lot of people comes as they reach a certain plateau, right? It's, I finally got the job that pays me X amount of dollars. But you know what happens? When you get that job that pays you X amount of dollars, what happens is that job is no longer your measure of success, because you also see things that you now lack that you didn't see coming. And that's certainly happened to me. You ever wonder why like these millionaires and billionaires like be getting divorced? You would think that money solves all the problems. As a broke person. And it should speak to the notion that you can worship money as a rich or poor person. You can worship status as a rich or poor person. But when it comes to true success, how do you measure that? How do you measure success? So for me in particular, I had to stop looking at success as a number. I had to stop looking at success as status. I had to stop looking at success as something that the world could give me. Because the world, this was the realization that changed my life when I realized that the world was not worried about me. The world is not trying to figure out what you're doing. Maybe one or two people here and there sometimes. But overall, the world is not concerned about you. Why? Because everybody's too focused on themselves. Which is not a good or bad thing. It's just the way it is. How much time are you spending on what everybody else thinks instead of focusing on how you can provide value for people or how you can provide value in your own life? I want the measure for success in my life to be how much of what I deem as valuable I can put out into the world. And maybe that is a number, but it's not your number. It's not anybody who can write about me's number. I always find it like fascinating the people like people like let's say Jay-Z. Jay-Z is arguably the best ever. But how much time does he actually spend worrying about that? Like he's not on Facebook and Instagram just posting once a week because he's got to make sure that his SEO and his, like all of these things, the scramble, this race that we're in, he doesn't participate in it, but he's still the best. That's a mindset. It's a mindset. And it's so hard to break that mindset, especially in today's climate, because even my children are like, oh, Dad, you're going live. How many followers do you have? Like this. Hey, oh, Dad, you have a YouTube page. How many subscribers do you have? Because it's ingrained into our minds in 2021 to pay attention to those things. Pay attention to them as a measure of how successful you might be, as a measuring stick for the activity that you put out into the world. But is that you? This is the conversation I've been having with myself, because I've been trying to figure all of this out. live streaming, music, my career, my wife's career, what my kids are going to be when they grow up. How do I break into filmmaking? How do I, like, what are the things that I need to do? Because until I'm just one of those people who's never comfortable. And so I got to keep working. I got to keep experimenting. I got to keep doing more and more stuff. But the minute my identity gets wrapped into how any of those things are doing, you know what happens? I start to feel miserable. Because obviously I should be further now. That must mean that I'm doing something wrong, right? Obviously I'm talented enough, but what am I doing wrong? Like, all of that eats at me the same way I'm sure that it eats at a lot of people, even if it's not entertainment related. If you're in school and you feel like you studied your ass off, you were writing a paper and you wrote your paper and you said, I killed that. And your professor gives it back to you. And not only is it graded lower than you expected, but it's lower than you ever imagined. And it rocks your world. It's damn near traumatic. Because what it says about you is something that you didn't see coming. You look at yourself as a good student. I look at myself as a good rapper, a good content creator. But then life smacks you and makes you understand that this chaos that we're dealing with, that we're living in, isn't something that you can necessarily game. If you want to be authentic, if you cool with being fake, you can game this system all day. You see people do it all the time. This whole platform is built, YouTube is built on people being fake and presenting it to you in a way that they feel you'll just gravitate toward, and that you'll put your identity behind, and then they're off to the races. But the interesting thing that keeps happening is that you'll see somebody get to the pinnacle of popularity on this platform, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, Snapchat, podcasting, get to the top, and then people find out they get exposed. And what happens to their success? It wanes a little bit, then it falls a little bit, and then they're gone, or they go fight. Nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is, once you establish who you are and what your own measure of success is going to be, then can't nobody tell you nothing. They can kick you off every platform. You'll create a paper magazine. You remember when they used to do that? You'll do whatever it takes because it's ingrained into your identity who you're going to be and how successful you're going to make yourself based on your own metrics. So what is that for you? For me, I'm still developing it. I'm gonna be totally honest. It's hard. We moved to Los Angeles. I moved here a year ago, and in my move here, the mission has been to kick ass at my job, create really, really good content, rub shoulders with people, like be successful out here in Los Angeles. Of course, a pandemic. The only thing that could stop me was a pandemic, son. The only thing that could stop me was a pandemic. and once it stopped me, like it stopped a lot of people, you got to take a step back. You got to reevaluate, reassess what it is you're doing it for, which is one of the things I find really interesting, because now a lot of people are starting to move out of Los Angeles. A lot of people are starting. It seemed like as soon as I got here, my team won the Super Bowl and everybody started leaving after this pandemic. And there's nothing wrong with leaving. Honestly, this is kind of I won't say a shitty place to live. I'll say it's a challenging place to live. It feels like this whole game that I'm talking about with figuring out your authentic self is what Los Angeles totally rallies against. Finding your authentic self and displaying that and having that be enough. Why can't that be enough? And if it's not enough for you, for the moves that you're making, then you'll always want more. You'll always want different. You'll always say that you don't have what you need. right? And the cycle continues. You never get to be yourself. Imagine never getting to be yourself, like ever, because your measure of success is something that you shouldn't even be trying to live up to. And that's, I was watching my wife was showing me this, I won't say who it was, this female rapper, this lady rapper. Apparently we can't say female anymore, which whatever. She was watching this lady rapper who has a YouTube channel, and I thought it was very funny. And I was watching it, and she was saying some stuff that was like, I'd never just heard anybody say. And I was like, yo, she believes this stuff. But then I watched another video about this young lady, and I was struck because her demeanor was different. The timbre in her voice does not sound like the music. She seemed like just a regular, like a homegirl. And then it struck me again that in order to sustain yourself in show business, you need the character. Like, put the character on, and give the people the character so that people know what they're getting when they interact with you. They know that their measure of success is aligned with your character's success, so they can continue this fandom that they have without any discrepancy. Because their measure of success, like if I was a street dude, maybe my measure of success would be the baby. I'm a street dude. I'm looking to be a rapper. And so I'm looking at bro. I'm looking at how he's doing it. And he might be the realest nigga ever. He might be the realest. At the same time, it's still a character. It's got to be consistent. I'm telling you this because I know from, like, I'm in the music business. I'm in the film and TV business. And everything that I see says that there's smoke and mirrors attached. That all of this is aimed and geared toward getting the lay person, somebody who's not in the entertainment industry, somebody who doesn't do this live streaming and everything, to get you to filter dollars because of your aspirations. It's all pimping aspirations. Hey, you want some of these aspirations, baby? You want some of the success, my nigga? Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
Enough.
So how do you go about defining success for yourself, especially in 2021, especially when everything around you says that you have to live life a certain way? I'm an advocate for journaling. That's number one. Journal. When you want to lose weight, like, and I've had this be told to me a bunch of times because I need to drop like 50, but I've had someone tell me several times, different people tell me several times, start keeping a journal of what you eat every day, because you'll just become more cognizant of what you're putting in your body. So imagine that for your emotional life. Imagine that for your emotional life. What you're putting into your spirit, what you're putting out into the world, how your emotions affect you on a day-to-day. Keeping a record of that, like, it's the first step, in my opinion. The second step is changing your script. You got to start talking to yourself based on, how they say dress for the job you want, not the job you have. You got to start talking to yourself for the person you want to be instead of the person that you feel like you are. And this part is not being fake. This part is programming, because the world will program you. I just had a conversation about mass hypnosis and how, if you look at the political partisan struggle that we have, you can trace back certain phrases to where they came from, and then watch those same phrases spew out of the mouths of regular people in regular ass conversations. It's mass hypnosis. The people that stormed the Capitol, do you think that they like were born and grew up in their small town, in their little spot or whatever at their school, saying one day I'm gonna run up in there? No. They were hypnotized to do certain things. It's the same with everything else. There, like, how many people are brand evangelists for Apple or for Nike, Jordan? Brand evangelists for sports teams. Look, I'm certainly a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan, but we don't look at it like that. We don't look at it like mass hypnosis because we feel like we made the decision. When it comes to your own view of yourself, you feel like you make certain decisions about what you want to do with your day. Science has proven that to be a fallacy. That your environment growing up taught you how to be. And so if you were to analyze everything that's gone on in your life, and I gave you a scenario, I could predict how you're going to react. Like, behavioral predictions are a real thing. And so how do you take that and become something that's like monstrous in a good way? Like, how do you take that and weaponize it for your own success and benefit? You change your script, journal, take inventory and audit what you're thinking about and doing on a day-to-day basis, and then change your script. It's not, I'm going to start working out. It's, I work out. It's not I'm trying to treat my kids better. It's, I love my kids and I treat them like kings. I love my wife. I treat her like a queen. Start telling yourself that you do. It might seem counterintuitive, especially if you have evidence to the contrary, but there's no other person that's going to do it for you. You've got to take this into your hands. You got to take it into your own hands. Journal. Change your script. And then once you actually get a grasp on who you are, you can change what your view of success is. Here's one exercise here's one exercise I've done and I like to do. How do you want to spend like your ideal day? Your ideal day from the moment you wake up to when you go to bed. What does it look like? Every day. Like if every day was Groundhog Day, like what does it look like in your ideal day? Because that'll tell you a lot about where your ambitions are, where your actual goals are. Because a lot of people think they want to be a rapper or an actor, but they don't factor in the 12-hour day on set, or factor in the 16-hour flight overseas to go perform with barely any sleep, to wake up and do a radio show, to go perform again in another town, to not have a shower, to, like all of these things that you don't factor in, counting the costs. How do you want to spend your day? How do you want to spend your day? Because that'll be not only the true essence of your ambition, but it'll also tell you how you're doing once you get to success. It's not like you're going to get to a place in your life or career where you make it and everything is just good and easy and you can just kick back. Success has to be realistic. If you want to be the best, or even if you just want to be a moderately successful attorney, you know that on your day, like on a Monday, you're going to have to go to court and spend most of your day doing paperwork. Like that's the cost of your success. How do you want to spend your day? How much are you willing to give up for your dream, for whatever you're trying to be successful at? How much are you trying to give up? Are you willing to give up sleep? Are you willing to give up Saturdays to yourself? Are you willing to give up a vacation? Are you willing to give up some money? Are you willing to give up some money? Come on, come up off that money. Come up off that money. I need that money. I need that money.
I have bad news for you.
Johnny, relax.
All right. So what are you willing to give up? What do you want your everyday to look like? This is a tangible way to go about goal setting, because it's not there's this like mythical fairy that people always like to preach about. Like if you just set goals, then that'll just be enough. But it's not. There's a whole bunch of mind trickery you got to do on yourself in order to get yourself in gear to be the person that you need to be for your dreams to come true, for your vision of success to become real. And the final step is environment. Audit your environment. Are you ever around people that are as ambitious as you, if not more? Do you ever talk about, like, a good way to find out is if you talk to people about what your dream or ambition or level of success that you would love to reach. Talk to people about it, the people around you, and what do they say about it? Do they say you can do it? Do they say you can do it and here's how? Do they say, oh, bro, that's too much? They say, oh, I don't know nothing about that. Like, that'll be very telling. Your environment says a lot about where you're going to be, where you're going to go. Like, this is why I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I had to get out of there. Nothing against the people, but it wasn't going to take me to where I needed to be. Audit your environment and then take steps. Like, once you have all that, once you journal, once you change your script and how you're talking to yourself, once you get a good grasp on how you would like to spend your day on your ideal day, once you have in mind like what you're willing to give up for the cause of your success, and you have a good grasp on the environment and if it needs to change or not, then you take action. You got to execute, knowing that shit is just hard. It's just hard. It don't mean nothing about you. It's just hard. Moving to LA was the hardest activity that I've done to date. Like, I moved myself, my wife, and my 3 kids here. I came out first, slept in an Airbnb with my friend Steve, and we were on bunk beds at some hostel with this dude who was praying and talking to crystals all the time. And then from there, I went to rented a room for $1,500 a month. Yeah, a room for $1,500 a month. And then I rented another room. Once those people decided that they wanted to let their lease go, I rented another room for about $270 a week. Then I found an apartment that I needed $6,000 or $7,000 for in order to get in, to get the keys. And then just through sheer luck found the key, got the money. Just got the money. And it was traumatizing. It was hard, bro. But it wasn't hard because I was stupid. Maybe I had been stupid and could have put myself in a better position to, like, financially years and years ago. But what had happened had already happened. And my goals were to get out here. And in order for me to do that, it wasn't impossible. The shit was just hard. It was just hard. Right now, life ain't easy for me. Like, everything that I want to do comes with elements of hardship because shit is just hard. If it was easy, not only would everybody do it, but I would have done it already twice, 3 times over. Like, I wouldn't be starting a live stream on YouTube if shit was just easy. No, you do this because you see a vision of how you want to spend your day, how you want to spend your time, who you want to reach, how you want your voice to get out there, who you actually are and what you enjoy and what you're willing to give up for it. So that's my formula for getting to success. Because you got to realize that, like, once you get to success, you're still going to be you. You're still going to feel everything, like all the insecurities that you've taken with you and all of the slum and the, just wading through all of the problems of life. Everything that you've taken with you, you're going to take with you to being a millionaire, a billionaire. And you're going to be sitting there like, man, why do I not feel successful? Because you don't know who you are, maybe. Because the money was never the point. Maybe freedom was the point. Maybe security of self-esteem was the point. But in order to get there, you got to know who you are. You got to get a good grasp on your identity. You can't, like, float through life expecting success to drop on you because of the things that you do that are that are not leading you to success. So like, I want to be a famous rapper. I make these songs, and I saw that like this person just got on because of SoundCloud. So, you know, I'll just keep posting shit to SoundCloud. Is that really the best way to get on? Is that really your goal? Do you really want to be Post Malone? Can you handle that? Can you handle the pressure of that? Because with all of this success that people envision come levels of responsibility that you just don't see. This dawned on me when there was a situation where somebody had approached my wife in an incorrect manner. I'll just put it like that. And I was about to beat a nigga's ass. And so the all of that just emotion, the anger, everything that had just been in me, like really, really wanted to do damage to this person. And in talking to my father about it, he was like, good thing that you didn't do what you were thinking of doing because you might have been in jail. Yeah. But also when I was thinking about how it was making me feel, I said, you know what? This is the type of person that I want to be. I want to be able to handle this type of pressure. I want to be able to handle this type of adversity. I want to be able to handle this type of anger, because if I'm successful in the lane that I'm in, and maybe today it's somebody talking crazy to her, to my queen, to my wife, and I can't do what I want to do about it. Maybe this is training for when I have a whole company with a whole bunch of employees and somebody starts to get Craig out of his spot, like trying to trick me out of my spot sort of situation. And I need to know how to handle that anger without destroying everything that I've built. It's hard. It's training ground. It's not an indictment that things get hard. Pause. It's not an indictment on you that the difficulties of life are there. Life is chaotic. And we've all agreed that even though life is chaotic, we're going to live it. So while you're here, I would encourage you to do your damnedest to get out in front of it, because it's not going to stop being difficult. It's not going to stop being hard, but you can stop being destructive to yourself. You can start being intentional with everything that you want to do. I'm talking to myself. Like the purpose of this is curiosity, humanity, and hope. But damn it, I need some hope. Amen.
Hallelujah.
I need some hope. And if you would... And if you need hope too, if you are in need of God to step into your situation, I'm going to tell you firsthand that his blessings only come as you relinquish your worldly ties. And the Bible says, how can a man rob God? Can a man rob you, God?
Enough.
Hell no.
All right, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop that. But back to the point. If you're feeling hopeless, like because I have a history of this. Luckily, and that's a conversation for another day. Luckily, my depression is something that like I finally got my head around and was finally able to move forward with my life, even in a depressed state. Even when I feel depressed now, I'm able to handle it different. But all of this factors into it. All of it factors into it. Life is hard, but you have the opportunity to take it. You have the opportunity to seize it, to execute, to make the world around you adhere to what it is that you want to do. But you've got to know who you are first. You've got to know what you want first. Otherwise, you just out here doing nothing.
Oh, it's late.
You know what? It is getting late. And so I want to leave you with the I want to leave you with the new nigga Pledge of Allegiance.
What you make it a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Put on a couple of pounds, man. I yo-yo sometimes. And so I decided to come out in black.
Come on with
and
it.
If I was to say I feel cute, it would be an understatement.
Get this in you.
You know what I'm saying? I feel black.
Talk about it.
And proud.
What?
And strong.
Wow.
And intelligent.
Talk about it.
Positive.
Yeah.
Majestic.
Majestic.
Kingly.
What?
Legendary.
Legendary.
Beautiful. Pretty.
Come on now.
Vivacious. Relentless. Rich. Give him another drone shot.
All right. So thank you for rocking with me. I'm gonna try to get on YouTube periodically with the live. I've been doing it on Facebook. Go ahead and follow or like on Facebook at I Am Craig Smith. At I Am Craig Smith on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me there for more updates on when I'm going to be live. I'm going to try to do this more on YouTube because I feel like I might like YouTube a lot better. I don't know. What you think? What you think? Do YouTubers say shit like, if you think that I should do it, leave it in the comments. Anyway. All right. Well, I am Craig Smith. I'm going to get out of here. Peace.
I had a moment, I had to be a savage. I had to put it in motion. You so mad and I'm laughing. You know we came from the show me. We don't care, we blasting. Blasting up and we glowing. The angels gon' buy me an ass.